supplies you're going to need for this project is you are going to need popsicle sticks. You're going to need 5 stars per popsicle stick, and we're going to be making 3, so you'll want to have 15 in total. You'll also need a hot glue gun. This is the hot glue gun I have for all my crafts. I find it's best, especially when you're doing heavy duty things and wood and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like it's the strongest stuff. It has multiple heating settings. So this is just what I like to use. So all these things will be linked in the description through my Amazon with affiliated links. But I'm sure you can get a lot of these things at your closest stores. So you'll also need paint. So I have blue, and I've got red, and then of course white. And I'm wanting to go with a more rustic, kind of rough look, so I don't have the exact colors that I need, so I'm going to be playing around with mixing. So I have some gold here. I don't know if I'll actually end up using it. There's a little bit of brown, and then I've got some lighter colors. So this is khaki, and then we got beige. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing. We will be having quite an adventure trying to make that have the rough effect that I'm trying to go for, just to have it have more of that going on. You will also need some twine. I'm actually going to be using some scrap twine that I have, but this is a whole piece that it looks like you could get it at Ace. And then you'll also want to have some kind of paintbrush. I'm going to be using a sponge to do my colors, and then this I'm going to be using to do my more rough strokes that I'm trying to go for, because I want it to look like the paint's kind of been worn off. So, but you can use whatever you have as well. You can get creative. So now that we know all of our supplies, let's get started. So I've got my first paint poured out already. I kept debating on whether it would have been best to glue my popsicle sticks first and then paint. And then when I was arranging and thinking about it, I didn't want to have to try and get into all the little crevices. So I think it'll be best to paint all the different sizes and angles of the popsicle stick first and then hot glue. So then you don't have to try and get in those tiny little areas and have spots that are just not as even, or globbed paints or whatever. So I think that'll be the best, is to just paint first and then glue. So I'll be painting all of my different popsicle sticks. And I think you can do this with any colors if you want. You could even do different like colors. So it doesn't have to be 4th of July, but if you want to do that, why not? Okay, so I'm going to be painting these, and then I'll meet you at the next step. So far, I've just painted one side. I'm on my second coat. You are more than welcome to just paint one side. I'm going to paint just all the way around just because I'm picky like that. But I think I'm going to have to maybe do one more coat on this white. But the other ones look like they're doing all right with just the 2 coats. So I'll meet you back once these all dry and I've got them all painted, and we'll do the next step. I just got done doing all my painting and everything's dry. I did find out just doing one coat actually gave it more of that rustic paintbrush strokes that I wanted, instead of painting a second coat and then having to try and do that myself. So I kind of liked it a little more light like that. So the blue and the red, I was able to do it just with one coat. The white, I just ended up going with 2 coats, and then I think I might go in with this khaki after I've glued it as a star, and maybe add it to where I think it needs it. So I'll see. All right, so now we're gonna glue together our stars. So I'll show you doing it with the blue one here. So we'll want to start by having a little triangle, almost. We'll add some glue on top. Try to add as little as glue as you can, otherwise it'll kind of ooze everywhere. So I'm going to try to add just a little bit of glue. I still had some ooze out a little bit. It's tricky with hot glue. So this next piece, we'll put some glue here. And you'll also want to put some right here on the other side to attach it to this piece. So kind of see where it lines up. So right about there on this other side. So I want to put a little dot right there and a little dot right there. That way I know where it'll all line up. Just like that. And then we'll add this one. This one will have 3 spots. I mean, you might not have to because that one kind of has quite a gap. So at least 2 spots, so one here and one here. And then I like to try to make sure my star lines up where I want it all. That looks about right. My piece here is a little bent. So I might have to add just a smidge more glue to help raise it up a little bit more. So I'm lining it up, seeing where I gotta add it right there. Add my dot of glue. Add my dot of glue. And line it right up. And our last stick. So do that same thing with all your other popsicle sticks for each star. And then we'll do the twine and getting it all to make the wall hanging. So I'll catch you guys back when I'm done here. Alright, I just finished gluing my other stars. I had a little bit of a mishap with my red one, but that's okay. I can go back in and kind of shave down the glue that's sticking out. So now we're going to add our twine to make our wall hanging. And I'm going to do mine kind of in a long, so it'll hang down. And I'm going to do it in red, white, and blue. That's how I'm doing mine. You can do yours however you want, whatever order you want, but this is the way I want to do mine. And so now I'm going to take my twine and I'm going to set up on the back so that I can hang it from something, like a nail, just so I have something to kind of do it. So I'm going to create a loop for mine, and I'm going to cut that. So this is a thicker twine. I have some that's a lot thinner, and then there's some that can be even thicker than this. So it's really up to what you want. I like the thicker. I think it shows a lot better, and it's sturdier. So then we'll want to glue at the top of our star. Make sure you're using, you know, the side that you want to show facing down. Don't want to glue the wrong side, then you'll be showing the wrong thing. And then I'm going to just put some glue on the top to kind of attach this. And then we'll kind of let that dry. And make sure again that we're facing the side that we don't want showing. Facing down. And I'm just guesstimating. I'm not actually like measuring everything. I'm just kind of seeing how long I want stuff. So then I'll just be gluing these two together, figure out how far apart I want everything to be. You can do yours closer, you can do yours farther. I'm going to do mine about like that. So just add a little glue on each one. It's a pretty nice and easy craft. I think the hardest part was just waiting for the paint to dry. And then I like to also go back and add a little hot glue on top. So you'll have glue on the bottom and then glue on top. That'll kind of secure it all the way around. So move this up. If there's any tutorials or things you want me to make or show how to make, leave them in the comments below, and I look forward to making those videos for you all. Thanks for watching.